What's going on, everybody? Dem Boy's back at it. Shout out Fred Young. Great idea. He said, man, what do you got for us on zone depth? So, I'm not really going to focus on the basics of zone depth that I feel like has been said a lot. What we're really going to focus on is the difference between playing a cloud and a purple at the same depth, because there is a difference. Then we're also going to focus on what do we do with the yellows, right? How can we use that to our advantage? So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. First thing we're going to take a look at is the difference between purples and clouds on 0. And this really does kind of hold true to any depth. But I'll show you against the run. So, many of us know, if you've seen some of my videos, purples at 0 is a great way to stop the run. All right, so let's just watch that purple. We'll say just focus on the strong side purple. And the angle that he takes down at the snap, he comes more or less straight down, right? Gets out wide just a touch, but he more or less comes straight down. So now clouds also set to 0, same deal. See how wide that cloud gets? He runs out wide of the numbers, all right? As a rule of thumb, that is a noticeable difference. So you might say, okay, that's great, but make it matter, right? When does it matter? So again, purple set to 0, RPO. This would be a great example of when it matters. So what'll happen is your purple is going to have to shed Y to get back to me. He will not get around Y free. Not going to happen. So you see he got the shed, even though it was a little late. I got the corner either way, right? So now let's take a look at a cloud and how that would go ahead and play this. You see how much wider he got? Yes, he still has to get shed, but look at the angle. It really shuts me as a runner out simply because of the angle. Where do I go? I can't go get that corner now. So very large difference when we're talking about that. Now let's talk about when we drop it back a bit. When might it matter then? Okay, let's talk about if someone's hitting you with a quick flag flat combo. Posts in gun A slot is really the one that comes to mind for me. So at this setup here, I've got my cloud is going to be set at 0 to stop this flat route. And I'm going to create a levels like this. The purple is set to 20. And I'm going to do something like that to stop what we've got coming at me. All right. So let's watch that purple and how it interacts with B. So just note that he did knock it down. We'll run it one more time just so you can kind of get it in your mind how that looks. So he catches it there. You can imagine if I low point that, I can get creative. That's not the best coverage in the world, all right? So beyond that not being the best coverage up the seam, where else are you super vulnerable? X on a go, perhaps? There's going to be a hell of a lot of room between that corner and that safety, right? So especially when I'm in cover 2, I would much rather have my clouds back at 20 maybe. If they're trying to shoot a go like that, usually you have them back to 20. If they try to throw it, they're going to get picked by the safety or the corner. 25 maybe if you're looking at some deeper flags, maybe even 30 if they're trying to hit you with like a cover 2 beater type flag. Again, we're not here to really focus on that stuff a whole heck of a lot. But now we've got our clouds set to 20 and our purple set to 0. And we're going to watch the way that cloud interacts with B. And I'm going to try to make the throw the same way, just pass leading it out. You see how much better that was covered, right? And again, now if they're low pointing it or trying to high point it or whatever, maybe, or depending on what game mode you're in, how the sliders are set, if you're CFM, you're going to set that at either 15 or 20 for a post like that. But again, just the way the cloud plays out on the boundaries is going to be significantly better for you. And what I would say about all of this is in MUT, where you have abilities, you have gunslinger, you have super fast receivers, that stuff is amplified. So any small differences that you're seeing here in practice mode are going to be significantly amplified the better the teams are. So clouds are going to be better for stopping quicker flags, beaters, and RPOs. I prefer purples to be used more so underneath drags, things like that, out to the flat. If somebody's running like table routes out to the flat, you could have your purples at 0, tight end on a flat route, that kind of thing. That's where I prefer to have a purple on 0. The other time I might put a purple deep, maybe you're playing, a cover 3 and you want to have purple back to stop a crosser. That's where maybe you're purple at 25 or 30 yards. It's because they kind of stay closer into the seam a little bit so they can pick up the crosser, maybe just a touch earlier. So now we're going to move on to yellows, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and plug my video, go back and watch my quick hit on how to reset your zone depths at the line of scrimmage. That way you can set this stuff up if you realize you want to default it to play match, as Captain Ron pointed out. Shout out Captain Ron. Or for whatever reason, maybe you think something different's coming. Maybe you're in run defense, you have purples at 0, right? And then they come out and you think, oh no, they're passing. I want to reset those purples real quick. Any number of reasons. Go check that video out. So another reason you may want to go ahead and put your yellows back further is if they are trying to hit you with posts over the middle. So what I've done here, or even like a crosser, a tight end crosser, something like that. What I've done here is I've set them at 15 yards. The other way you can use your yellows is in 3rd down and long. You can just set them to the sticks. But we'll go ahead and watch this post. I got nowhere to go with that at all. The purples are set to 25 for that. For those posts coming across, you're better off at around at 25. For the crossers, you're better off at 30. Just kind of a rule of thumb. If crossers are coming, I'll go ahead and maybe play the sticks because we want to take mat or shade over the top. Either or would be fine. Just something to go ahead and take the match principles out because we don't want this corner to follow the crosser over to here. That's why we've gone ahead and set up the deeper stuff on the other side, right? So the last concept that I want to leave you with here, and you might be saying to me, well, then we're going to be screwed underneath. If I do something like that, what do I have to use or everything underneath? Well, kind of. But what we can do too is man up some of these guys. So for example, let's say they're running the running back on a Texas route and getting under everything. You can do something like this, right? I usually like to go ahead and shade outside when I'm playing crossman. But if you take your defensive end opposite of the running back and put him back underneath the Texas route, he can go ahead and box that up for you, right? If you think you have a running back that's going to leak out in the flat, you could go ahead and man up one of these guys like so, right? Now if he leaks out into the flat, I've got someone that can kind of get out there with him, right? So just different little things to kind of think about as far as how you can make some of this stuff work without getting beat underneath. And again, go check out my video on how to reset those zone depths. Thank you so much for checking this one out. Hope y'all found this one useful. As always, like, comment, subscribe. You have any questions, fire away, dem boys. Peace.